Hell Let Loose's new update is going to be game-changing. This is something that we've all been waiting for. It's been teased for so long, but oh my god, it is finally coming. And I cannot wait for this insane patch in World War II gaming. This is Hell Let Loose's game-changing update. First of all, the main thing, we might as well get straight to it, and it is the addition of half-track, something that we've been waiting for so long within the game. Hell Let Loose has some great vehicle combat, especially if you're playing as armor squad and you're working together with commanders, spotters, and of course gunners and drivers. But half-tracks have always been on the horizon. Will they add them in, or will we just settle with the troop transports and supply trucks that we have already? But no, the developers have confirmed that in Update 11, half-tracks shall be added in for all of the countries. I love the look of the German half-track specifically. That camouflage looks fantastic. It looks great on their tanks like the Tiger, but the half-track is just another level of beautiful. Now, these half-tracks, of course, are troop carriers, a bit like the transport truck, transporting up to 8 players. I suspect they'll have way more armor and probably won't get sniped out by any rifled players on the other side, but I suspect they're probably still quite susceptible to other tank shells or, of course, anti-tank rockets. But you have the driver and 8 other players. They can be transported to certain parts of the map, and here's the exciting part: these half-tracks can be used as mobile garrisons. When they're stationary, the rest of your team can spawn on them, whether they're in the front line or even behind the enemy lines. There is talk from the developers whether this is going to replace the red zone garrisons, you know, the garrisons that you can put down in enemy territory, but that isn't confirmed yet. However, it would make sense, since having the mobile garrison of the half-tracks and still being able to place red zone garrisons as a commander or squad officer seems like it's going to get a little bit hectic, and you'll probably fill up those max garrison slots very fast. Half-tracks, of course, normally have a machine gun. At first, however, in Hell Let Loose, this won't be the case, but they have said this will come in later on once the model is properly in. You see, it is quite a bit more difficult to model someone in a driving vehicle outside that is also using machine gun. That's something that we haven't seen in the game. All the MGs on things like tanks can be used while you're inside the vehicle itself, and there's no player model to be seen. So that's something that has to be worked on and implemented throughout the game before they put it on the half-tracks. But could that be the start of seeing machine guns on other vehicles? Think about it. Putting a 30 or a 50 cal on top of a tank so the commander can pop out and join his other troops in the fire, pinning down enemies from the top, but whilst being out the tank, there's a risk that he could be shot. Of course, this is much harder for them to add into the game, but I think it will be a beautiful addition, making the tank commander do much more than they do already. And also, you know, when someone comes up behind you and you have to pop out and shoot them with your SMG, this could be a replacement for that sort of thing. Another addition is a new tank. This is on the German side, and it is the Panzer IV, something that we've seen in the past, and my does it look gorgeous. Coming back with that camo design, I can't wait for this to be the replacement for the medium tank on the German side, and it's going to be a lot of fun getting to use this thing. There are some other smaller things, like a few new weapons being added in, such as the FG-42 on the German side, an automatic rifle that will be taken into battle to spray down enemy after enemy. Additionally, we have the trench gun, a full-on shotgun that will be great in towns or bunkers with those closed quarters, full scatter shot, but they're going to be pretty difficult on the open field. But the trench gun is something that interests me the most, since out of all the weapons and additions within Update 11, I think it's going to be the hardest to get right and balanced, because if they make it too short range, no one's going to use it. Yet if they get it to a point where you can snipe someone with a shotgun, like many games we've seen in the past, Battlefield 1, it'll be way too overpowered for it to really make the game still fun. What's more, the new update has some smaller stuff like sound effect changes, some improvements to voice over IP, and some new tutorials when it comes to showing players how to work together in the game on their Discord. But there's also some cool new weather conditions. Whether this is storms, rain, snow, it's going to be interesting to see, because when you go into the map, the weather conditions are almost set. If you're playing on 40, it's always snowy. If you're playing on Hill 400, it's always wet and muddy. If you're playing on Purple Heart Lane, you're always drowning in somebody else's swamp. But it's going to be cool if these change throughout the game. Weather conditions like rain or snow are going to completely affect the dynamic gameplay. Snipers won't be able to see as far, meaning that people with weapons like the new trench gun will be able to get the advantage, sneak up, and close that distance. This update is so exciting. I can't wait to see what they do with it. But please, if you guys want to check out more, make sure you stick around the channel as I bring more updates, and especially when this is a new channel for the Resident series, so I'll be covering so many FPS games, so make sure you click that subscribe button now. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, leave a dislike if you didn't. But until then, I will see you in the next one.